Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome back to another video हमारे सेगमेंट पाकिस्तानी। आप सब कैसे हैं? अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह I'm doing very very well। थोड़ी सी और कंसिस्टेंसी बनानी है, लेकिन दिस इज कमिंग अर्लियर देन यूजुअल। अभी तो मैं हफ्ते हफ्ते के हिसाब से कर रहा था, लेकिन अभी क्या 2-3 दिन ही हुआ है। तो हाँ, आज की वीडियो में we're going to be talking about all the Fougere fragrances that I own। एंड थोड़ा सा बैक स्टोरी ये है कि Fougères मैंने बहुत रिसेंटली डिस्कवर किए, but they have become the love of my life. Seriously, I cannot get enough of Fougere fragrances. I have very few. I plan to get many, many more because this is the category of perfumery that has just enthralled me और मुझे बहुत बहुत पसंद आया। तो of course हम आज बात करेंगे of all the Fougere fragrances that I own from local houses and one special one at the end जिसके बारे में मैं खुद आपको बताऊंगा। तो let's get right into it. So the very first fragrance that I feel we should talk about is the first Fougere that I ever got. This is from not a local approved house, but it is from a local house nonetheless. ये है Zo Culture का Creed Viking. Uh, there are a few caveats to this particular perfume in general. We'll talk about that as well. But if we're going to talk about Creed Viking एक बहुत different take है on the Fougere DNA, while still having a lot of the same core components. थोड़े से absences में जो इसमें है, it's a lot of the more aromatic elements and more of the oak moss. Oak moss is a very integral part of a Fougere perfume, लेकिन इसमें ये नहीं है। इसकी जो scent profile है, it is based off the top notes of mint and rose. Middle notes में आपको थोड़ा सा और rose मिलता है, थोड़ा सा musk मिलता है, lavender इसमें बहुत अच्छा निकल आता है, and there's a lot of jasmine in this one as well. But it's not a stinky, powerful jasmine. It's a very smoothed out, very refined jasmine. और बेस पे आपके पास सीडरवुड, टोंका बीन, वेटरिवर हल्का सा है। एंड रियली ये क्या है कि ओपनिंग में इट्स सुपर रोजी एंड सुपर मिंटी एंड द रोज इज वेरी फ्रेश, ग्रीन एंड ड्यूई। हार्ट में देयर इज दैट बिट ऑफ एरोमेटिक एलिमेंट, बट अगेन इट्स लैवेंडर। इट्स मोर ऑफ द सोपी alkaline type of lavender, which is paired with a very nice Bulgarian style rose. Bulgarian rose is more deep, it's more rich, sweet, और इसके बेस में द वेटेवर, द सीडरवुड एंड द टोंका बीन, इट्स अ वेरी नाइस क्लासी वुडीनेस। वेटेवर इसमें हार्श नहीं है, इट्स नॉट स्मोकी, इट इज द मोस्ट स्मूथ आउट टाइप ऑफ वेटेवर। द सीडरवुड इज वेरी फ्रेश, इट्स वेरी ग्रीन इन इट्स नेचर, और टोंका बीन और मस्क जो है उसको थोड़ा सा राउंड आउट स्वीटन कर लेता है। तो दिस इज अ रियली रियली नाइस फूजेर। I know there's a Creed Viking cologne version as well, and I haven't been able to try that one out. But Creed Viking itself, I really love. As you know, मेरी कलेक्शन बहुत बड़ी है और मैं इस बॉटल को खाली कर चुका हूँ। Speaks a lot. Creed Viking. अच्छा, so that was Creed Viking. Second one is one that has become the love of my life. जूस कलर देख के आपको पहले से पता है क्या है। This is Emerald Floresta by Balsamico Fragrances, which is an impression of Mousse Illuminae. This is the best fougere on the damn planet. इसके अलावा this is the king of fougere. This is the no all end all. बात यहाँ पे खत्म हो जाती है essentially आपकी. What is this fragrance? It opens up very cool, very minty, fresh, icy, slightly very oak mossy actually, a bit floral. तो आर्टेमिजिया आपको आता है टॉप पे, जैस्मिन्स काफ़ी आ रहे होते हैं आपको टॉप में, एंड हार्ट में आके यू गेट अ लॉट मोर ऑफ द पचूली। पचूली इसमें एक बहुत रेयर किस्म का है और बहुत यूनिकली इस्तेमाल हुआ है। इट्स अ नेचुरल इंग्रेडिएंट्स, इंडोनेशियन पचूली, और it is not a rough, it is not a dirty, earthy patchouli. It is a very smoothed out, very refined, very classy, slightly sweet kind of patchouli. और इसका जो बेस है, इट इज़ ओक मॉस गलोर। एंड मैंने ये कैप उतारा है तो मेरे नाक में ऐसी, यार दिस इज नो ऑल एंड ऑल मैन, दिस इज द मास्टरपीस, दिस इज द एंड, दिस इज द एंड, दिस इज माय फेवरेट फूजेर ऑफ ऑल टाइम फॉर अ रीजन। आई एम सो स्केर्ड टू यूज व्हाट लिटिल ऑफ दिस इज लेफ्ट, बिकॉज आई नो कि DIP का है एंड इट हैज़ इट्स ओन प्लेस, पर यार मैं वो ट्राई कर चुका हूँ and it doesn't compete with this. It really does not compete with this. ये कुछ और ही चीज़ है। This is the love of my life. This is my favorite fragrance of all time. एंड हाँ, परफॉर्मेंस तो 12 घंटे, 16 घंटे, 24 आवर्स कह रहे हैं आप। स्किन पे तो 12 घंटे है ही है, कपड़ों पे मिटेगी नहीं, लिटरली नहीं जाएगी। वॉश होने के बाद मेरे कपड़े फिर भी इसमें होते हैं। माई क्लोजेट हैज a slight smell of mousse illuminated at all times. This is the king. This is the best fougere on the planet, in my opinion. Mousse illumini. Acha, the next fougere is a very unique interpretation of fougere. क्योंकि ये ट्रेडिशनल फूजियर नहीं है, और द हाउस दिस ओरिजिनेट्स फ्रॉम हैज़ इज ओन यूनिक डीएनए, और जो इसमें इम्प्लीमेंट किया गया है उसका डीएनए बहुत ज़बरदस्त तरीके से किया गया। दिस इज़ न्यूयॉर्क इंटेंस बाय निकोलाई पार्फ्यूमियर, और ये द फ्रेग्रेंस स्क्वायर ने बनाया है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस इज डिसकंटिन्यूड। आई रियली थिंक दिस शुड कम बैक। यार ओसामा भाई, आपने पचूली इंटेंस निकाला लेकिन ये नहीं निकाला। ये निकालते हैं ना तो मैं इसकी मॉडल उठा लेता, because then I would just confidently empty this one and grab yours. Anyways, this is a very different type of fuchsia. इसकी जो ओपनिंग है, it is bitter, it's citrusy, and it's very alkaline. It has citron and it has lavender and it has a bit of black pepper. So citron itself is a very bitter style of citrus. It's not fresh. It's not a bright opening. It's like कड़वा, कड़वी जैसी स्मेल आती है आपको ओपनिंग में। और एल्कलाइन जो है, बहुत सोपी लाइक केमिकल स्टाइल वाला लैवेंडर है इसमें, एल्कलाइन लैवेंडर, विच इज़ रियली यूनिक। मैंने कभी ऐसा लैवेंडर एक्सपीरियंस नहीं किया। एंड द ब्लैक पेपर्स एड्स अ वेरी वेरी नाइस किक टू इट। हार्ट में आते हैं तो that citrus citron note calms down. It does become a lot more bright and uplifting, and it's actually still there in the heart an hour, 2 hours later, जो मेरे लिए बहुत सरप्राइजिंग है। आई नो ये काफ़ी टाइम से पड़ा है, दिस रिलीज वाज अ लॉन्ग टाइम अगो, सो दिस इज मैसेरेटेड फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम, बट द सिट्रस नोट टू स्टे after the top notes have mostly faded is very very impressive. तो हार्ट में यू गेट द सिट्रॉन विच इज much more smoothed out now. ब्लैक पेपर काफ़ी ज़्यादा आपको आ रहा होता है। द ओक मॉस हैज स्टार्टेड टू emerge and the lavender has become a lot more aromatic. It's lost its soapy alkaline nature, और वो ओक मॉस के साथ मेल्ट होके बहुत स्मूथ बन जाता है। एंड में आपके पास, unlike this is a very bright oak moss. This is a very grounded and earthy oak moss. इसमें थोड़ा सा पचूली का हिंट आ रहा होता है, एंड द पचूली इज द ट्रेडिशनल पचूली यू यूज्ड टू। हल्का सा स्वीट, क्या कहते हैं, earthy and a bit medicinal as well. तो it's a very unique fougere. The base is completely surrounded by that earthy oak moss and it's really really nice. This is very office type scent. मतलब कि ऑफिस के लिए आप ये अगर लगाएंगे एज अ डेली वेयर तो ये बहुत कमाल तरीके से चलेगा, एंड यू विल स्मेल द मोस्ट यूनिक ओवर देयर। मैं आपको ये बता रहा हूँ। तो परफॉर्मेंस इसकी इज मीडियोकर। यू वुड एक्सपेक्ट दिस फ्रॉम अ फूजियर फ्रेग्रेंस और एनी फ्रेश फ्रेग्रेंस। 6 से 7 घंटे आपको मिलते हैं, बट इट्स मोस्टली अबाउट द सेंट प्रोफाइल ओवर है। ये एक बहुत यूनिक और बहुत डिफरेंट स्टाइल का फूजियर है, एंड आई रियली विश कि कोई भी हाउस अगर यार द फ्रेग्रेंस के बारे देख रहे हैं, ये आपको निकालना चाहिए दोबारा। दिस इज एन एब्सोल्यूट मस्ट नीड फॉर अस। न्यूयॉर्क इंटेंस। अच्छा, सो द नेक्स्ट वन इज डेफिनेटली द मोस्ट यूनिक वन। मैं कह चुका हूँ काफ़ी यूनिक है, बट ये बहुत डिफरेंट किस्म का फूजियर है, बिकॉज इट्स रेमिनिसेंट ऑफ द 80s. It is a fragrance from the 80s, and of course I'm a balsamico fanboy, so don't be surprised when you see this. This is number 5 from the Extraordinary Fougères, and this is Estee Lauder for Men. Let's talk about this one from the beginning. I cannot give a set like compound statement for this one, क्योंकि ये बहुत, मैं अभी भी इसको इंटरप्रेट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ ये है क्या। शुरू में you get lemon, sage, and a very sparkling elaichi type note. This is not a warm spicy cardamom. This is a sparkling elaichi जो आपकी चाय में थोड़ा सा मिलता होगा या कोई शरबत में मिलता होगा आपको। Very fresh, very green. The lemon in here, it's not like a lemonade. It smells like a cleaning product to me, which is really different. And the sage gives it this wild herbal type feel with a bit of bitterness. So this really smells like a rugged man from the 80s, and it's a very nice interpretation of that. Again, Estee Lauder for Men is a fragrance from the 80s, so don't be surprised. The heart is my favorite part of this one. You get the patchouli in this one is a raw, earthy, dense, thick patchouli, which I really, really like. Strong patchouli, paired with a little bit of creaminess from the sandalwood. It's not super creamy. Okay, it becomes like a bit unisex to the sense because when you add sandalwood normally it is very unisex. This is still a masculine and rugged fragrance. So sandalwood has a bit more of a woody touch, but it retains the creaminess. There is vetiver in the heart as well. Vetiver, Johanna, is my favorite part from the heart. Okay, it adds this harsh element to it that does make it more rugged. It does make it more masculine, and really it like brings everything together. Patchouli जो है ना उसको थोड़ा सा woody और smoky बना लेता है. Patchouli in the sense के it is rich, earthy, and sweet, and the sandalwood is woody and creamy. So this is what is basically in my I think setting the line straight to make this a men's fragrance. Now, favorite part मेरा इसका base में है क्योंकि it has oak moss and amber in the base. अब the oak moss is there, it's prevalent, पर जो इसका amber है वो amber green की तरह act करता है. Amber green is a bit salty, a bit marine, animalic, and sweet and ambery. This is not salty. This is not that sweet, but it is a bit animalic, which I really really like. I like animalic fragrances. I think they're really what make men's fragrances men's fragrances. Women don't really pull off animalic fragrances. Only men can, in my opinion. So he really sets this one apart. It's the most unique one over here, and it's super super nice. I highly recommend you guys try this one if you haven't already. This key performance is actually pretty solid. EDT strength at 10 to 15%, 78 hours. Really really nice, and it's the second strongest projector after Mousse Lumina, of course. Uh-huh. Estee Lauder for men. Acha, so this is the last one before we get to the surprise at the end, which I'm very excited to show you guys. Another extraordinary Fougere from Balsamico, but this is the fan favorite. This is the one that people have liked the most, and I can definitely see why. This is number 3 from Extraordinary Fougere, and it's an impression of Sour by Van Cleef& Arpels. It's 80s fragrance again. It's more of a 90s fragrance. It was 1989 when it released, and it does embody that pretty well. It's a bit funky. It's not funky actually. It's a more modern. It's more floral actually. The 90s had this phase of making men's fragrances more floral. So, what do you really get? Shuru mein, there is a lot of rosemary, there's a lot of neroli, there's a lot of bergamot, and there's a lot of lavender. How does that come out in the end? It becomes this, it mostly comes off very white floral because of the neroli, but neroli has this citrusy nature to it, so it pairs very well with the bergamot. Lavender is the aromatic herbal lavender you're used to. It's not super soapy or alkaline like most lavenders are nowadays, especially nowadays. And the rosemary adds a very nice sweet herbal touch to it. Acha, the best part is the heart, in my opinion. Heart may you get geranium, you get a bit of patchouli, you get juniper berries, you get sage, not sage, sorry, you get pine, and lots of florals. There's lily of the valley, there's jasmine, there's roses as well. So again, this has managed to make those florals very masculine because it is undercut by the base. And the base is the most unique part about this. It's again oak moss and amber, but it has more elements to it. The patchouli is from the base, it's just present in the heart as well. There's leather here, there's a bit of vetiver, there's tonka bean, and there's a bit of musk as well. Overall, it's a super well-rounded fougere, just doesn't focus essentially on the oak moss. पहले के टाइम में formulas were much more complicated. They genuinely had more ingredients than they do nowadays, and you could tell from the fragrance. Aajkal, they have a lot of synthetic ingredients that meant to enhance some of the naturals or some of the other core components. And this was a time when there was a lot of pioneering in perfumery, and you tried to make all those ingredients work together into one whole encompassing perfume. So you have to read the notes and you have to understand कि सब एक साथ मिल के कैसे बन रहा है. आप टॉप नोट्स पे ये नहीं कह सकते कि बर्गामोट की ये है और लैवेंडर में ये है और हार्ट नोट्स में जूनिपर बेरीज जेरेनियम और फिर बेस में एम्बर ओक मॉस पचूलिया ये सब. यू हैव टू थिंक कि सारे टॉप नोट्स पे लेके ये एक जूस बन जाए, and then there's the heart which makes something else, and then there's the base which makes something else. So this is a masterclass in perfumery, in my opinion. Van Cleef and Arpels, for a long time, have been making great fragrances. This was top tier, in my opinion. It's better than Moonlight Patchouli from their house. This is one of the best fragrances I've tried in a very long time in terms of scent profile and uniqueness. It's hard to describe, but it's very well worth it to try. Overall, super herbal, super floral, super fresh, green, dewy, icy, but then warm, oak mossy, rich, earthy base with a little bit of smokiness as well. Super well balanced. I really like this type of formulation, and I've been hooked to this one as well. It's the one I've been using more often because it's easier to wear as well. So, the last one before the surprise, SAR by Van Cleef& Arpels. Acha. So now we've got the last one, and this is a small vial of what I have myself prepared, and I'm really excited to show you guys this one. This is my own creation. It's called the White Blend. So, मेरा favorite category is those summery citrusy fragrances. It's sweet vanillic fragrances. It's harsh animalics, and it's fougères. So I wanted to create a super blend basically because this has more than 5 6 fragrances inside of it, and I wanted it to embody a lot of those into one. तो शुरू में because it's such a super blend, it's hard to describe the top notes and the heart notes and the base notes. So I'm just going to tell you what the scent profile is. This has a base of Ralph's Club by Polo, Ralph Lauren, Ralph Lauren Polo. So Ralph's Club is woody aromatic lavender. So that is your core ingredient. उसके ऊपर मैंने 5 और डाल दिए, and they've covered all the elements. Beginning, it's super lavender. It's a lot of lavender. It's a lot of the green, verdant feel that you get, and it's a lot of freshness from citruses. So it's a much more modern fougere. It smells traditional. It smells like something that's familiar, but there's something that's tweaked to it. It's something that's unique and different about it. When you get to the heart, it has a lot more of this vanillic sweetness combined with a lot of woodiness with some fresher aromatic herbal elements that are there in the heart. So heart may is where it becomes a lot more different. The transition of notes here is actually very nice. It's my favorite part about this one. So super vanillic, super woody, a bit creamy as well, but it doesn't go into that category of a winter fragrance. It's not centered around those sweet notes. It is still centered around the base concept of this being an enhanced modern fougere. The base has touches of oak moss. It is not an oak moss scented fragrance. It has a bit of smokiness. There's vetiver here. There's a lot of ambroxan style ambers over here. There's woods. There's lots of musks as well. And the vanillic sweetness has settled down much more. It is not strong. It is not prevalent. It's there to give it warmth. This is something that I've been working on for a while. मैं ऐसी formula काफी time से कर रहा हूँ. This is like the 7th iteration of this one. पहला वाला बहुत बकवास था. Second वाला I was getting somewhere. Third wala I ended up making it a winter fragrance. Fourth wala was horrible. Fifth one was horrible. Sixth one was very close to this one. And then the seventh one, I added Polo Ralph Lauren Ralph's Club as the center and the big part of this fragrance. And it really brought everything together. And I was super happy. So, this is what I would describe as an introduction to fougères for people that are not used to them. आजकल के ज़माने में बहुत से लोग stronger with you पहनते हैं और ऐसी चीज़ें पहनते हैं. They wear Azaro Wanted by Night. Everyone is used to sweet fragrances. And in their freshies, they're very limited. They have Sauvage, Blue de Chanel. It's more the sweeter elements where they lie. They like a lot of Jean Paul Gaultier. So this is going to be really easy to wear. It's an introduction to those aromatic fragrances that if you're not used to them. Aromatic fragrances में आजकल से देखते नहीं हूँ. People around my age, my peers, my friends, they wear a lot of these heavy winter fragrances all year. So this goes out to them. This is something that I wanted to do in that sense. I'll be launching this on May 15th. It'll be called the White Blend. There's going to be limited bottles of this. It's going to be really hard to recreate it. So until I can get that formula down again or make a second version of it, this will be a one time only. ये गया तो ये गया. But हाँ, I really wanted to show you guys this. मैं काफी टाइम से इस पे काम कर रहा हूँ. And हाँ, the White Blend. That's my own creation. Thank you very much for watching the video. आज के लिए इतना ही है. We covered fougères, my favorite category of fragrances, and I know a lot of people love them. I've really come to love them, and I want to experience more and more of them. तो इंशाल्लाह यार थोड़ी सी और कंसिस्टेंसी हम रखेंगे, टेंशन ना लें। आज के लिए इतने लिए, डू लाइक, डू सब्सक्राइब, जो भी लोग कहते हैं। That's it. हाफिज़।